All right, fourth grade. Our first of 3 reading tests today. I always like to start by taking a look at the essay. The essay says, how are the themes, right, the underlying meaning of the story of the babushka, and the night before alike? Support your answer with clear text evidence. So we're going to decide what the themes are, and then we're going to see how they're alike. We'll take care of that in the third video. Stay tuned. I'm going to give you some help on how to compare these two things. Story number 1, the babushka. The winters are always harsh, but the one Mary Kowalski remembered was especially fierce. For weeks, snow, ice, and strong winds had battered her village in Portland. Mary dreaded the long, frigid walk to school each day. Very soon, her mother found a way to solve the problem. Before she went out, Mary's mother would tie her own mom's babushka, or handkerchief, now you know the definition, under Mary's chin. The babushka was large and colorful. In spite of the freezing weather, Mary could feel the warmth of the soft babushka. She imagined the touch of her mother's hand. The babushka made Mary feel cozy and safe. Mom's babushka makes me cozy and safe. I think I got a theme going on here. When Mary came to the United States, the babushka was one of the few things she brought with her. She landed a job as a cook in a restaurant that served Polish food. Mary would stand in the kitchen all day and make handmade golubki, no idea what it is, or cabbage leaf stuffed with meat and rice. There's the definition. The city where Mary lived had severe winters, so Mary wore her mother's babushka to work every day. The weather reminded her of winters in Poland. The babushka reminded her of her mother. The years passed, and before long, Mary was a mother. So now she had her own daughter. When her daughter Jenny left for college, Mary gave the babushka. Jenny had no interest of wearing it since it was not very stylish. Yet she didn't want to hurt her mother's feeling. Jenny knew why the babushka was special to her mother. She had heard the story. So Jenny pointed out, since the babushka color is starting to fade, I'll try not to wear it too much. So she was trying not to hurt her mom's feelings. After Jenny unpacked at college, she lovingly played the babushka on her bed. I'll find a drawer for it tonight, Jenny thought. Then she hurried out to her first class. That day, Jenny was surprised by all the work that was required at college. There were books to read, reports to write, and research to do. Jenny was overwhelmed and scared. Man, when I'm overwhelmed and scared, I just want my mom. Hang on, here it comes. She plopped down on her bed and laid her head on the babushka. It was not long before Jenny started to feel better. The babushka made her think of her mom. It gave her encouragement. Mom worked hard at the restaurant, and I'll work hard at school. I'll do whatever it takes, Jenny promised herself. From then on, Jenny would lay her head on the babushka at the end of the day. If she was upset or worried, the feel of her mother's faded babushka would calm her. It was as if she was hearing her mother's voice soothing her. By the time Jenny was ready to pass the babushka on to her own daughter, the material was very thin. So this would be like the 4th generation. The color was even thinner. Why would I want this shabby faded piece of cloth? Asked Marie. Now that would be Jenny's daughter, the great-granddaughter. I think it's lovely, but then beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What do you think that means? Well, that means that sometimes something that doesn't look too beautiful to me might look beautiful to you because you know who it is or whose it belonged to. Jenny answered. Then she realized that Mary did not know the story of the babushka. Sit down, Marie. I want to tell you a story. It began years ago in a village in Portland. One harsh, fierce winter. What a cool story. Hopefully you figured out the theme to that story. Let's check it out. I'm sure they're going to ask us some questions about it. Don't forget, all your answers go in your answer key on a separate sheet of paper. Please go ahead and put your name at the top of that sheet at this point so that you're set for your answers. Number 1. What is the theme of this passage? It is always best to tell the truth. Was this whole passage about passing down the truth, wearing the truth? Okay. You can learn from your mistakes. Families love and support each other. To have a friend, you must be a friend. Only one of those fits our lesson today. Read this sentence from the passage. Mary dreaded the long, frigid walks to school each day. Which word has a connotation most similar to the word frigid? Does frigid mean chilly, cold, freezing, or nippy? Now, chilly would have this, frigid would have this negative connotation. And so you got to think about these words. Which one would kind of have a negative connotation that would mean kind of the same thing as frigid? In other words, don't pick cold. Don't pick freezing. Nippy or chilly would be your best bet. 3. Read this sentence from the passage. The babushka made her think of her mom. It gave her encouragement. Which word has a connotation most similar to that of encouragement? Defeat, ignorance, opposition, or support? I think that one was a lot easier than the first one. Okay, number 4. Read the following sentence from the passage. If she was upset or worried, the feel of her mother's faded babushka would calm her. It was as if she was hearing her mother's voice, soothing her. This text evidence supports the theme by telling why you should call your mom. What happens when you're nervous? What happens when you keep things too long? Or one way to keep family members close to you. Number 5, read the sentence from the passage. After Jenny unpacked at college, she lovingly placed the babushka on her bed. The author uses lovingly instead of carefully to suggest that the babushka reminds Jenny to dress warmly. Jenny did not want to damage the babushka. The babushka was very important to Jenny. The babushka was very old. Why would you lovingly put it on there? Number 6. What evidence from the text best supports the passage's theme? So you're thinking about the theme that you picked in number 1. Which of these would be a good text evidence? She had heard the story. Jenny was overwhelmed and scared. The babushka reminded Mary of her mother. The city where Mary lived had severe winters. Number 7. Why does Mary's mother give her the babushka? To keep her from falling on the ice. To keep her warm on the walk to school. To make her think of colorful summer flowers. To show off her colorful babushka to the neighbors. And that was probably from the first or second paragraph. You need to look it up. That one was pretty simple. Number 8, which word of the story has a negative connotation? Which one of these has negative connotation? Colorful, lovely, shabby, or true? And number 9, read this sentence from the passage. Why would I want this shabby, faded piece of cloth? Asked Maria. I think it's lovely, but then beauty is in the eye of the beholder, Jenny answered. What does the saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder mean? Some people have beautiful eyes. A babushka is as beautiful as a hat. You can see beautiful cloths in many places. Everyone has his or her idea of what is beautiful. And the last one, number 10. Which action by the character best describes the lesson of the passage? Mary makes Polish food for others. Jenny lays her head on the babushka. Marie is not sure what to do with the babushka. Mary walks to school through snow and fierce winds. All right, guys, I'm really happy to be done saying babushka. Our next story in the next video. We'll see you there.